Now, a lot of your fans are here. There's one Sandy who say hi. There's Nii Dakpo also said hi to you. There's
Hi.
Tony Ephraim who said we're here. But there's a question from Nicholas Akini who said, what does Fasuba think can be done to bring sponsors to athletics in Nigeria?
Well, transparency, honesty, and transparency, that goes a long way in bringing sponsorship to Nigeria. At the moment, we all know, all right, Puma is trying to give us a deal now, but it's surrounded with so much conspiracy that no one actually knows what's going on. So, do you think another company will want to invest in us? No, I think honesty, once the federation can come about being honest to the world, to the athletes first, and to the world of what's really going on, I think that will do a great way in bringing up the top athletes as well. And trying to merge our entertainment industry as well, because we've got sports and entertainment, but we tend to always leave entertainment does theirs, sports does theirs. And one thing people need to realize, and that's my bone of contention, is people are always comparing athletics to football. Sorry, they're not on the same league. Football
Yeah.
is on a greater league than athletics. And if you want to use the same model of what's going on in football to do athletics, I think we will be driving the coffin more than 6 feet. And that's what
Yeah.
people need to realize. We need to do a proper cleanup of our sports, and I can bet you a lot of sponsors want to come back because Nigeria has a lot of talents.
In fact, I once raised this issue that, look, football, everybody keeps saying government is spending a lot of money on football, right? So that's
Yeah.
fine. Football is the most popular sport in Nigeria. That's fine. So, but then you are in track and field. Why most of the stadia we have in Nigeria are multi-event stadia. So why are you not leveraging on the popularity of football to promote track and field? So if you partner with the Super Eagles is playing in Uyo, for instance, why is the Athletics Federation now working with the NFF to have, instead of entertainment they have during halftime, have 2 or 3 relay events at that time? So bring the state athletes to run at halftime on the track. The stadium is already full. People will get to see them run. So this is how we could gradually phase in our sport and also leverage the popularity of football to showcase the track and field athletes. 15 minutes halftime during the football match, you can use 10 minutes to run 4 relay
Yes.
races, 4x1 races, right? Yeah, so these
Yeah.
are the things we need to start think of outside the box, be innovative, and do something completely, you know, unexpected to
I,
bring popularity to the sport.
I think that's the problem we are having is because I think a lot of people are so money conscious in the fact that, let's see what we can grab now within our time. And I think that's what's really killing our sports. We need to, once we can remove that mentality and let a lot of younger bloods come in as well, because I keep saying the fact, there were some people that bought the sports greater in 1925, 19, let's still use them again. Those are the things they need to look at. We need the young bloods into the
Yeah.
system that are willing to come up with more innovative ideas that can move our athletics sports forward. Because it's been, before I left, I kept screaming that athletics is going down the drain. And it did go down the drain. So it's only Personal Cabaret was carrying the whole country with all the victories. And now the men are
Yeah.
coming up now. This is the time Nigeria needs to start throwing money to these athletes. Come on, let us sponsor you. Let us give a lot to you. Let's just leave it to when you get to competition that we're going to give you peanuts as allowances, but we want gold medals. No, it shouldn't be like that. The country has to have a creative plan, as you rightly said. As you said, football. When they're doing football, 15 minutes, you can do a race. Entertainment industry, try and merge as much as possible to bring that crowd to know athletics. Because I can tell you, a lot of people don't even know the top athletes we have in Nigeria at this moment.
Oh, I mean, last week we had one of the Ghanaian athletes. She's the Ghanaian national recorder in triple jump. And we were talking the same thing we're just saying now, that if you put any of the Ghana movie and music stars there on a billboard, everybody knows them, right? But if you
Yep.
put any of the African medalists from Ghana or their women's or men's 4x1 team, if you put them on the billboard in Accra, nobody will recognize them, So the idea that athletics is not popular, that's why the companies are not using them, it's not working, So if you want to promote these athletes and develop the sport, then you need to be intentional about promoting the sport generally across board. But you have to create your own heroes within the sport to showcase, right? And that's what
Yes.
we're not doing. And and like you said, honesty and transparency, right? So if the federations don't look at Nigeria, for instance, it's a big shame fighting over a position for that is only for 4 years, and and because of that, your selfishness and greed, you've actually destroyed the lives of generation of young athletes coming through the ranks. You've destroyed trust within the corporate brands and the federation and the sport. How long does it take? I mean, since Adeyemi Wilson left, I don't think we've had any serious marketing or sponsorship in the federation. So, what are we saying? The national championship does not even have a title sponsor. How do we go from here? You know, I try not to talk about Athletics Nigeria in a way because I know a lot of people there, and I don't want it to look like I'm taking sides. But to me, every one of them had failed. And if they love the sport, everybody currently involved in the system should leave. That's my honest thoughts.
I totally agree with you, because at this present time, we've got the next coming election is coming out, and people are really start trying to lobby to see who can become the president. But at the moment, I can tell you, no one is actually saying, "Oh, let's see how we can develop these athletes and make them a better, make the sports better." You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a bit sad and worrying that all people are thinking about now at this present time is, "Oh, it is my position. I've won this. I should have the right to do this now. Let us go autonomous. Let us not go autonomous." But no one is actually talking. These athletes are suffering now. You've given them a palliative once, and I think we expect that palliative to take them for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Come on, this is how much was it? 50,000, 60,000. That's not even a quarter of. That's not even a penny compared to what a professional athlete will need, and things like that. So a lot needs to be done, and I think we are still I think, to me, I would like to say we are still in the Stone Age at the moment.
So there's a question here from Tony Ephraim. So he said, "My name is Nwane. I and Olu started together. I wish he can start up an athletics academy in Nigeria. Do you have such plans, Olu?"
Well, to be honest, it's the plan is, first of all, I really want to go on that with our project. I really want to start on that, first of all, with the foundation. But the problem I've got is, what I'm in this, I'm not back in Nigeria. And I think when I retire, I think that's something at the back of my mind I really want to do, is be able to start up a foundation and hopefully combine it with an academy as well. But without your presence there, it's quite hard to run, because I can motivate a lot of athletes. But like when I came in February and I spoke to a lot of athletes, I think that motivated a lot of people. And it will go a longer way than just having an academy where no one sees you and things like that. And most of the time, being a Navy personnel, I'll disappear for about 3 or 4 months and no one hears about me again. I think that could bring a debt to anything I try and start, which I've learned with my project that I've done.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's answer what Omoyeni just said. He said, what can be done to help all younger athletes in our local communities in Nigeria? So I guess the foundation answered that, right?
Yeah, the foundation answers that. But as I said, at the same time, even if I want to start, I am not so focused on I don't want to really focus on grassroots, because, as I said, there are way too many grassroots. We need that intermediate program. Once we can keep that intermediate program, the grassroots have identified potential talents. How do we take this potential talent to the national level? That is more of a dream I really have at the back of my mind.
Yeah. So this is your picture when you were still active. I think one of the, I think it's the World, is that the World Continental Tour or one of the?
No, this one was actually for my club. It's my Italian club, Acidonistra. They sponsored me there and gave me the documents I needed to travel around Europe, because with a Nigerian passport, I was limited to traveling to as many places as I want. So I think they were part of the support that I got. I was able to use to travel, because trying to get a visa from Nigeria was like trying to win the national lottery.
Yeah. So this is you on the finish line after you won the World Indoor in Valencia in 2008. I know there's a backstory to this one, because in 2006 you were not happy with what happened when you came fifth in the final, running 6:58, and 2 years later you came back and you delivered and you won the title. So can you tell us the backstory to that? And this picture, it said number one.
I think my indoor journey started actually from 2004, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Because 2004 was my first ever indoor. I've never seen an indoor stadium in my life. So I remember flying to Germany, and I think a day before the race, I think I kept thinking about the race, and I was sleeping. I think I actually fell from the bed, and my roommate said, I just sat down and started executing my race, and I went to bed. I never knew I fell down. That's how much thought I had it in my race.
Yeah.
When I ran the first race in Karlsruhe, Germany, I think I ran a 6:58, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that was about the sixth fastest time in the world. That was when I knew I actually had that potential in me. So I was still a bit inexperienced there. The next day, I decided to run to France because they offered me a lot of money. Bearing in mind, I was still a young kid, and I was like, oh, any money I can get, I need it now because I need to take care of myself. I think I'm getting to France. I got injured in that race, so I couldn't run in Hungary that year. So 2004 was a write-off for me, but I had a faith that that medal was going to come to Africa. So tried again in 2006, bearing in mind I was always having maybe between the first or the third fastest time of the year in the 60 meters. Yeah. So I tried again in 2006, and I was sure I was going to win it. The only tough competitor I had then was Lionel Scott from America. It was between both of us. It's who gets off the block first who's going to win that race. Unfortunately for me, it played my eats as my coach wanted, because my coach determines what times I run in my race. Most times I try to go faster, but for some unknown reason, I never can go faster than the times he wants me to run. So in the finals, it was like, oh, I've got everything to go. And I think mentally I went in there ready, but on seeing the layout there, I knew something was wrong. And I think that automatically threw me off when I noticed, because I noticed things a lot. I noticed how the blocks were set. And when I lost that race, I think I was furious, really furious with myself, because I knew that's when that gold medal should have come to Africa then. But luckily for me, the competition for me was I flew from Russia then to Melbourne, and I got the Commonwealth silver. And some months later, I broke the African record. So I think that was my compensation. In 2008, I was like, no one is having this gold. I was going to work really hard for it, and we did. And I remember a race before that it was in one of the France, one of the states in France. I came second in that race. And I clearly remembered one of my friends there was like, oh, the 60-meter world indoor is open. And I jokingly turned around to him and said, no, it's not. It's mine. Because I knew I had lifted a lot then, and I was ready. I was tapering. As I said, remember when I spoke about the mobile, I had to plan there. So that was my plan in that race. So went back, did all my finishing touch, my speed walk. And when I got to the race, I knew I was ready then. The times I knew I was going to do, I could have done about a 6:45 then, because I was seeing my hand time is what was coming up for me. But unfortunately for me, the semi-finals, I think I made a slight mistake, because I had a plan in my race, and I think one of the Brazilians there gave me a little bit of a shock. He was leading at 30 meters, and I was like, no, that's not right. So I changed my speed a little bit and strained my groin then. So I still won that, but came back panicking. I was like, oh, coach, I don't think this is going to be the year again. So my coach did some work on my legs for me, and I was like, all right, well, just go there. You can give all your best in the finals. So getting to the finals, I looked around, and when you're in the final, it's a different world down there. It's like, it's war. I felt, all right, this is it. This has to be it, because this is the third time I'm trying for it, and I have to be lucky. And I remember clearly when the shot is gone. My first step is not always the fastest, but my turnaround is always very fast. So my first step, I cramped up, and I was like, God, this can't be happening. And then my second leg came out, no cramps. Third leg, no cramp. And then I put in all I had there, literally everything. And by the time I got to the finish and I saw that I won the race, I think a big sign of relief came out. I had everything in my soul just went. I was like, yes, God, thank you. This is it. This was the gold for Africa that I've been working for.